So Nimjo is here.
Hi.
Hi, and I would like Nimjo to ask me all the questions he liked to, so that you guys all out there, our Wing Chun brother and sister, who have the same questions, be able to know how I look at these things. Okay, because this is serious stuff already. This is the core of the Wing Chun when it comes to the core stability and the breathing handling. If we don't get this straight, so this is the first five of the writing in the 1850. If we don't get this straight, we will not be able to develop the health part of the Kung Fu and the fighting part of the Kung Fu. So Nimjo, just ask anything. It doesn't have to be organized or please me or anything. We want to solve problem. We want everybody to get it.
I guess the first question is that how can you be so sure that the ancients were using this? And that's what many people I think are going to ask themselves is how can you be so sure that the ancients were doing this and not something else?
Okay, it is a good question. Number one, the reason why it is the way how the ancient do is because the ancient, remember this Shaolin and Ermei, they are both based on the teaching of the Buddha. And the other day, I just shared another video how the Shaolin practice their Qigong or Neigong, okay? And they have a common denominator, meaning that you need to activate fully, be able to use your diaphragm and your pivot floor, okay? And just get to the technical, okay? Don't put me on the pedestal. Of course, I developed this thing. Not that I know it all, but I have the taste of it and experience of it and so forth. Now, because I am in Kyokushin since I was 13 years old, so I do those ibuki, those taking strike, impact, and ki type of training. So I can compare with that. And so I can confirm that with all this experience that, and with the ancient Buddhists and so forth, this is what it is. And also because I do the 6 healing sound. If you don't get into this, you cannot do the 6 healing sound. Now, but that's not good enough for me because it is not Hendrik say. Now we use a proven scientific study. Now today in sports science, we all know that you need to have a core stability and a deep breathing and fully be able to use your diaphragmatic breathing, even if you want to relax yourself, like people practice the yoga type of breathing. Now, that's why right now, you got the Buddhism, you got the Shaolin, the practice of the Shaolin documented, the 6 healing sound, which is documented in the books 1,500 years ago, the 1850s, all those data, and of course I can reference with the Kyokushin practice of Ibuki, Nogari, those body conditioning to see whether it makes sense or not in fighting and so forth. Now, those are different data points, but now we put in the sports science, meaning you're using a scientific language. Scientific means you know the cause and effect. And you'll be able to quantize it and measure it. As for the Shaolin, the 6 healing sounds, the Buddhism, that is different data point so that to see they converge, telling the same thing or not. As the Kyokushin, Ibuki, and so forth in karate side, that to see that is it in the ballpark, okay? So the Ibuki doing those taking impact like the hard Qigong stuff, type of stuff like the white crane hard Qigong, but The 1850 have more than that because it deal with like the Shaolin breathing Qigong Neigong practice, which is not only for taking impact, it has to develop the strengthen or for the health part, which is linked to the also like the practice of the six healing sound. Now, using the science, we can quantify it. That means everybody be able to get it. And so I'm just here presenting what it is, not like Hendrik know all of this and I know it all, I'm the oldest. No. So this thing is like you put on the plate, you show the entire world, this is what it is, and this is what the today's science, okay? And so we want to be able to explain what is the ancient practice with today's sport language and scientific language so that we can verify it. And so no longer we have using this magic word. You just go around asking what is the Xing Qi to Tan Tian, and everybody will tell you all the ideas of Xing Qi to Tan Tian. Like for example, the Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao, the Wing Chun Yi Ji Kam Yong Ma, you ask 10 people tell you different things on Xing Qi. But right now, with this, the modern training, which is consistent with the Shaolin, the modern quantizations, as I show you for that, you know that Xiu Lim Tao, the Yi Ji Kam Yong doesn't work in terms of the diaphragmatic breathing, in terms of the pressure, intra-abdominal pressure, in terms of all the scientific quantization stuff. So are we going to train something which is never get result and we just believe in? Or are we going to train something which is you can go to the lab, you can show result, you can go to even your physical doctor, and you know it help your health. Like the N1, no, you'll be able to know if I don't have enough sleep and I sleep late, I better do the N1 or else my body is not going to rest for 2 hours or 3 hours. Many people don't even sleep, even though they say, oh, I sleep at 3 o'clock. And then I sleep until 11 o'clock, but I say, well, you never sleep. Why? You just get to check the Garmin, you see that the heart rate is in 70, 60, something like that. You never sleep. So when you wake up, you never sleep. But if you do N1, which is the nurture chi, right away you knock you down your heart rate to the resting heart rate, and then you probably take you half an hour. So 3:30 to whatever, 11 o'clock, you're sleeping, or else you're not sleeping. So for the internal, the chi restoring, recovering part, that is what the ancient. And also with the 2C, then you know that, okay, it really actually 2C state is have the physical support to let you be able to do the N1 standing. Okay, so hopefully you're clear with this, okay? And as you have tried that using N1 when you don't sleep well and so forth, you know, you can tell everybody this is what it is. And it is important to share with everybody is because fighting, face it, I practiced for what, 50 years in martial art, in all these different martial art, from judo, kyokushin, Shaolin, and different type of art. How many times I really fight? But I have to fight this body, not fighting this body, take care of this body. Start when I am 30 something, working in Silicon Valley, my body doesn't feel right. Until I get knocked out, age 55, they diagnosis me. Only the first time they say, well, you have a diabetic type 1. Well, then I have to use it. I never fight anybody, but I'm fighting to survive. So Wing Chun have this part. And so this is what I like to share with you, why I know what is what. or does it work or not? No, like for example, the N1 process, you go through with it, does it work or not?
Yeah, sure. I mean, one thing is that you maybe do the N1 process and you think, oh, you're doing it correctly. But the truth is that if you don't measure it, it's just, again, your interpretation, or it's just your own theory, and this is wrong, because you can think and convince yourself of so many things in the world of health or martial arts, but really, if you have no evidence to track it, if you really can't see what's happening to your breathing rate or your heart rate or your stress rate, or if you're not monitoring it, it's a totally different perception of reality. And so, yeah, the damage which you can be done to yourself is real. It's real, and it's serious. So overtraining, as you said, sorry, Andrea, I was overtraining a lot and pushing myself because I've got a very active lifestyle and on the move all the time. And suddenly, after 2 months of overtraining, I had an exam, a grading exam coming up, and it was getting postponed. So I was supposed to have it in February, then it was postponed to March, and then it was postponed now to April. So I was training all the time, 6 days a week, and then also living my life and working and cooking and obligations. Suddenly, I have a pain, and then I look at the Garmin and tried to do 2C, and no way, I can't get the heart rate down. Tried to do it sitting down, no way, I can't get the heart rate down. And so I spoke to you, and sure, yeah, do the N1 and do it correctly. And straight away, after 20 minutes or 30 minutes, it's going down to 58 from 74. And I couldn't get it down below 72 before then. So, and then, you feel great afterwards. You can confront your obligations, your everyday life again. So for recovery, and as you said, like for Wing Chun, for everyday life, and for managing your own health and your own body, it's gold, really. And it's the thing which makes me quite angry about stuff is that people saying, oh, that's your theory, that's your theory, Hendrik, oh, that's your theory. But the fact is, a theory is a theory, but this is not theory. This is, look at the watch, look at the evidence. Theory is something when it hasn't been proven yet, really, So, and you can see a million theories of what is qi, and you can see a million theories of what is Yi Ji Gam Yang Ma, and you can see a million theories of if Wing Chun is internal, or no, it's not internal, or yes, it is, or no, it's not, and this is my internal. And those are theories, those are interpretations. This is not the reality. The reality is monitoring it and looking how it functions and how it works in terms of health benefits, and not imagining it. So for me, it's been a wake-up call, really.
The one thing I like to share with you, in the Buddhist training, in the real Buddhist training, the reason why they get into these meditations, because they watch out their mind all the time. Because say, for example, if we get pissed, well, it's going to evoke certain thing within our body, okay? And you're starting to feel the stuffy feeling and so forth, so forth. Well, that's disturbing your body already. So you want to talk about Qigong, Neigong, everybody has Qigong, Neigong. You got pissed, you can feel that internal changing. You go to watch a pornography or sex and violence, you get all inside there. So the Buddhists, the practice is not a religion. It is practice that watch out for that, because once your body got into the reaction stuff, once your body responds to your mind, now you need to settle your body first, or else you couldn't even meditate. And so what is meditate for? Meditate, in the Buddha's term, samatha and vipassana is for this, okay? Samatha is so that you have a stability, so that you be able to sense your body is now changing, like when you get pissed. The second, say maybe we are no good monk, no advanced monk, but maybe the third second of our body change, we know. Okay, so it is like if you put a pond of water sitting still, the pond of water is so still that if a bird fly across it, it know right away because the water is still there. So the water is like your chi and everything in your body, your flow of your energy in your body. Anything move there, you know. Okay, that's samatha. Yeah, samatha. Now vipassana is you be able to see clearly. Oh, now this water is perturbed. Now there's a bird fly on top of the pond. Now I could not see the bird clearly because the wave is perturbing. So it be able to right away snapshot, hey man, this is not a dinosaur flying. This is just a bird. But because of my water is waving, I saw a dinosaur flying. And that is how we all, like me, okay? I know not mean I'm proficient or I'm mastering. So that is where on and on, when people say one word, we go blown up. And we don't even know what it is. We thought that is a dinosaur, but it's actually because we are in the chaotic situations. Now, why do I get into this? Say the practice of Iji Kamyongma, as you see now, we know the N1 and so forth. Say N1, right? Iji Kamyongma have two parts. One is the N1 part and the 2C part. You can keep practice your N1, but you're keeping, if every day you get pissed off 5 times with others perturb everything, you're not going to go nowhere. Because you're going to drain yourself, you're going to discharge your body, you're going to screw your body more than your N1 practice. Say you practice 1 hour and N1 and another 6 hours, you are in that pissed off and going around mode. How is going to do it to your body? So somebody say, oh, you know what? I just go straight with you. People say, oh, because of one have the sexual problem, like important problem. Before when I study Kung Fu with different teacher, I always heard about this thing. And then somebody will go say, well, I just take these Chinese herbs and I just do this, pay attention to the Dantian, and now then I got this hat on, and I'm no longer important, and then so forth. Now, the reason I bring this up is this called stimulations. That is not to charge your energy so you become normal again. Those stimulation stuff is extremely draining. So you don't want to get pissed every day. And then you say, okay, I know N1. I have my watch now. And then as soon as I get pissed, after a while, I just go down there and N1. I come back again and I'll feel good. And today is feeling good. And then I can go have sex or whatever. Well, you do that, meaning that you actually screw yourself in the long run because you are draining your body. And so go back to the Buddhists. The Buddhists want to practice vipassana and samatha because you need to keep 24/7, 365 to have that energy there. Now you talk about Wing Chun. You want to sense other people. How can you sense other people if you don't have this chi or N1? Like the other day, Nimjo, when you don't sleep, the next day, can you sense anything? Compare with after you do the N1, okay? Relax, do N1, take a nap. If your body need a nap, go take a nap, please, okay? Compare with the step, how are you going to sense? You can practice chi sao until the end of the world. The more you practice chi sao, the more you lost it. And then when the more you lost it, you hate your classmate because he slapped you one time, you know, even by accident, then you get revenge mode again. And the entire thing blow up. How are you going to get high level in Wing Chun? You can't. You know, but we all is like that. We are just human, including me, no grandmaster here, okay? I'm just, like the other day, I told some Buddhist friends, I'm just a guy in that mud for 50 years or so, so I have seen more thing or see more screw up than everybody who have not go through all this thing and opportunity to see all this thing. So right now I say it, and right now I quantify the entire thing with science so that everybody be able to benefit from that. That's the bottom line. So right now, like yesterday, I show you that using that intra-abdominal pressure, your diaphragmatic breathing, and so forth. Now everybody needs to check it. Otherwise, how can I make if I am your sifu, how can I make claim that you know that thing? How am I sure? How are you sure that you really got it?
Yeah, you know what you're teaching or what you're showing us and what we're learning really should be implemented in the way of thinking for any instructor who's thinking about teaching, because how else are you going to be able to really grade or examine a student, and what criteria are you using to give them the reward or give them the grade? You know, one thing is physically pushing someone to or you know to see how much they can take physically, but you know that's just very rudimentary, very simple thing. It's nothing, you know. So there's so much more in this kind of training, and there's no mysticism with it either. There's no vagueness. There's no opaque situation where people have to imagine what they're doing. They can see it, you know, and either you got it or you don't got it. You have to work more. So yeah, I think it should be implemented in.
Let me tell you this, my experience. I seldom want to talk about myself because I don't want to have all our friends in the world who is in this turmoil, in this turbulence, thinking I'm trying to promote myself or anything. But today I want to share with you. Do you know why I learned about this hard way, the Qi Gong way, and soft way, Wing Chun way, not the Ding way? Face it, 1973, I'm a Kyokshin. In the same time, I practiced Wing Chun with my late Sifu Cho Hong Choi. Whatever I learned in this Wing Chun class is applied in the free sparring in the Kyokshin. Every week in Kyokshin, you have, say, at least 3 days, you have a sparring. So even at that time, I know Bong Sao never worked. Because I tested out, I end up to get a round kick there. I can block the punch, but I'm going to get the round kick there. And I asked Cho Hong Choi always, Sifu, how come this not work? And then I always ask Sifu, this is because I have to train to take impact, okay? And I try to train to breaking. So even when I was 14, I joined the the Kyokushin Open in the adult, we need to do a breaking test before you can participate in the Open, in the Kyokushin Open. Okay. So here again, I went back to Chong Choi, Sifu Chong Choi. How come, I feel so strong? I can take the punch when I do Ibuki. Where is the Xiu Lim Tao have this stuff? Or that's where he explained to me the south and then the lower abs breathing and those kind of stuff. And you must not stop breathing and hold on breathing and those kind of stuff. And then I still remember when I was in my brown black testing in Kyokushin, one guy had to fight so many people. So we were with a friend. And before the test, the friend told me, hey, Hendrik, don't sweep me, okay? And guess what? I do not round kick him down. He end up rush in to give me some punch in the chest, the Kyokushin punch, okay? So after that, I have to go back to Cho Hong Choi, fix me, okay? I have difficulty in breathing. You feel stuffy. So have to take medicine, have to massage and so forth, so forth, so forth. And then I have another Sifu, which is the student of the Shaolin martial monk Sek Go Cham, who is in Indonesia, who is a monk, Fa Chan, Venerable Fa Chan, the Buddhist monk. He told me many things, including one thing is, one time he do a meditation, the Qigong type of stuff, and he end up puking blood. And my Qigong Sek Go Cham right away stopped him there, stop training that, and Sifu not training there anymore. So I'm not the genius, but I see this. And like when I study with Venerable Xuan Hua, always you need to talk what you know, what you experience, not talk what you think, what you interpret. Especially in the Surangama. You don't mess around with that thing because you can get into psychological problem and so forth. So Sifu is very, I don't know about other people, Sifu is very strict on me. Whatever I'm talking, Sifu love, no, I like to talk. When I was young, I like to talk. Of course, I go study all this engineering and have all this theory and everything, right? So I get hammered. If you don't create that, you don't know exactly what it is, you don't want to talk. So right now, what I'm presenting is my life is, I'm retired. And all this thing, what I know, that's why I'm picking it up with science, quantify it so that people can know and use it for the daily life. You want to train Wing Chun? Good. You'll be able to be a superstar in Wing Chun later? Good. Now the thing is, we need to know the basic. We need to know how to live at least a life we can handle our body. Because human is not fair. Do you want to have a diabetic type 1 like me as born? And there are people who have cancer and all kinds of stuff. Okay, and then yesterday I talked to another friend who have a heart issue, try to do N1. So we are human. There is no super being here. And all my Sifu, like my Sifu Fa Chan, who is the student of Qigong Sek Go Cham, he puked blood and he's sick, the end. Venerable Xuan Hua gets sick too. And at the time, there's a Venerable Shen Hua sick. He was here in San Francisco hospital. He just asked us classmates inside there saying that here on Sifu cannot help you guys much anymore. You guys have to cultivate, okay? And then later, when he's really sick, he said, if you guys want to help the teaching of Bodhidharma, let's not cheat other people. Because there are many Buddhists who like to talk about spiritual, all this stuff. So he said that. And so he gets sick too, right? This is the guy who can meditate for a lot of hours. This is the guy who is how to say, coached by like Xu Yun, the venerable, the Zen patriarch of the century, the China, in written the Chinese history, even the emperors of the Qing, you know, have to respect. So this is the reality. There's no gimmick, there's no magic. It's us, human. So I want to share with you this way, not to say that I'm a grandmaster. I'm not far. Compared with all the Sifu I have, I'm far away because I'm not a professional. So only what I can do is, because I'm an engineer, I'd be able to know what I know and just map the thing in the science. Hopefully that a lot of people can be benefit from these educations.
Yeah, see, Hendrik, you talked a lot about in your books about awareness and the importance of awareness, and right now you talked about samatha and vipassana. I don't know about these things, but it seems like that this is the key, that we should be aware and conscious of what we're doing, when we're doing it and why we're doing it.
You have to watch out for one thing. I cut you here. You have to watch out for one thing, which is a major misleading in Buddhism today. Okay, awareness, right? Awareness, right? I aware of something, right? I aware of something. I aware of this thing. I know this philosophy, this theory, this interpretation, right? That is not Buddhism. Buddha Dharma saying that whatever I aware and that person who aware, both are impermanent. The reason why we get into fight these days is because I think Ichi Kamyama need to this way. I think Xiu Lim Tao is about little idea. And some else say that, oh, Xiu Lim Tao is not little idea. You are wrong. And it is the details of the essence of detailed training. Now, whatever it is, essence of detailed training or little idea, fact is facts. But the person who present that person is also impermanent. If I attach to Xiu Lim Tao, is never little idea. Xiu Lim Tao is the essence of detailed training. Well, guess what? That is not enlightenment. That is not aware. Why? Because I attach to my view, and this guy who attached to it actually is impermanent. For example, when I was young, I liked this Chinese movie star. And now, because of my age change, I like another Chinese movie star. You see, that mind is impermanent, but we grabs it. This is my lineage. So that's why in Surangama said, if your mind grabs your own mind, what is not elusive become elusive. So you want to know that whatever thing outside, like the body, it can grow old, it is impermanent. You also want to know that person, that Hendrik who knows this, is also impermanent, because If that Hendrik go watch a movie, when he get high, get excited, he forgot about all this impermanent stuff. He thought that this is the best, as in the movie. So get rid of that if you really want to do Buddhist art, like Wing Chun. Wing Chun is deep. Wing Chun is not what we think. Okay? So you see, the watcher and the thing you watch is impermanent. Everything comes and goes. People aging and so forth. The watcher also impermanent, because this watcher will vanish too when the times and the conditions is proper. That's why even in the political side, we change side often. We change our mind often. That is, our mind is just impermanent. There's a reason why you need to practice vipassana, samatha and vipassana, to realize that you're aware not only your body, your N1, your heart rate, you're aware that that person who keeping want to do this and that also is impermanent. Get to that level. So when you play Xiu Lim Tao, sure, I play this Xiu Lim Tao today, I can feel that, oh, this Xiu Lim Tao, this feels really good. What you feel there and what the person who is feeling it and practicing it, they are both impermanent. That's why the Zen saying, one never step in the same flowing water twice. Watch out for your mind, because even your mind is impermanent. Okay, so this is the teaching of Buddha. And so you see, from the science, from the ancient teaching, and how the practice and everything, it is actually one. There's no two. It is one. Everything is just like a coin with the many faces. Okay. So how do you see how to break things? It's like Xu Xiaodong tell us that, oh, you guys don't have the body power. It's obviously, if you watch that video, Xu Xiaodong is telling you in his way, in the Chinese way, you don't have the core power, core strength power. You only use your arm power. That's what Xu Xiaodong said. Now you see that, you say, okay, what he says is true. And I got pissed too, because I'm a Wing Chuner. But you say, well, this is impermanent. Well, if Xu Xiaodong say that you only use hand, you look at that, it's true, correct it, because it's impermanent. Nobody grabs it there. And for this piece of stuff, because Xu Xiaodong said about our Wing Chun, you let that go too, because that's impermanent. And everything is happy, and you're keeping progressing. So it's not about the Wing Chun saying the mindset has to be in hatred. Because when you're in the hatred, you know one thing, you grasp what you see as permanent, and the person who see that thing is grab it as permanent. That's where you generate the hatred. And that hatred, that's why in the Buddhism, it call it poison. You let into the poison, you turn into like the Disney movie, freezing or something, like you just freeze the thing out there and you guarantee you that. So is it philosophy? It is never philosophy. So when you die, those people who have a high achievement in Buddhism, when they die, they let go of their situations because the body get old. They know this is impermanent. And of course, people will lingering here, want to stay because there's a mind being so used to in this environment. And they know even that is impermanent. They let both go. And that is where they release the entire thing. The minute you don't let that go, then you're going to find another source to come back. Like this guy, right? Might be, in the Buddhist way, just for fun of it. Maybe in the past life before I die, I must be get really pissed off saying that I'm going to come back and straighten the damn thing, because this is not how Wing Chun is. Okay, but who suffer? I'm the guy who suffer if I do that, because I have to carry that burden. Nobody asked me to carry that burden. So you see, all this thing is related together. That's why, back to the Buddha's teaching, every day they take precepts. You don't do this, you don't do that, you don't do that. Why? Because you don't want to go out your boundary of the samatha and vipassana. And only by that, you practice the chakra handling, the chi handling. It works because you accumulate your energy up. That's why you get the samadhi. But if one way I practice meditation half an hour, I go movie, and I go eating ice cream with you guys, and I go all this thing and all this thing, and how the hell I'm going to develop samadhi? It's like in the water, your water pond, you put it down there for half an hour, and the rest of the time you just stir it up. How are you going to get anywhere? So, okay, make it very simple, back to the beginning. That's why I quantize it. Because only this way, for this era, we all know, as soon as we cannot get the data of N1, you know you need to get rest. Say you do N1, half an hour, you get back to really refreshed. But if one day that you cannot get back in half an hour, should I have to go change my lifestyle because something is draining already. Okay, and so you know the tools called N1, but you want to use the practice not just to show off that, well, I can do this, but you look at that to check me. Hey man, this body, something wrong with it. What did I do, which is draining my energy? So you want to use that every day. Same with your Xiu Lim Tao. Use that Xiu Lim Tao to help you every day. And now we use the quantizations. If you want to know whether you can get it there internally, instead of talking about Zen, Qi, and everything, you check your heart rate. Will the heart rate going down and stay low in the deep recovery? If you want to say that I have the Xing Qi to Dan Tian Shuo ready to fight, well, just put the belt on and see whether it's a 360 degree. Or if you have the on track like me, you'll be able to see, is this thing really go full range of breathing operations and so forth. Now, if there's a day that I cannot do that, well, that means that I cannot do 2C, I have to go back to N1. Right? So hope that this is clear for you. It's about life. It's about daily life. So now it gets scientific, and that's why all this internal, this Nei Gong, Qi Gong. For what I see for past 50 years, those are just a very surface stuff, very superficial terminology talk. They do not know the content. And people who never taste apple will never be able to tell you exactly what apple is. But today, unfortunately, the world is full of people who say that they are doing research and all these things in those kinds of situations. So now there's a disconnect between Qi Ji Guang, Shaolin Sword Strike 1850, and today's Wing Chun. And today's Chinese martial arts is disconnect. That's why when Xi Xiaodong crush in with the momentum, you cannot take it. The entire thing breaks. And the truth is, the ancient Chinese have more technology than that. Why are we end up this way? So again, this is back into the first step. Let's get the N1 and 2C straight. Let's, instead of saying Hendrik say, or this say, or that say, put it in the scientific way, and in sports science, it can validate that. For health, medical science, it can validate that. And let's do something which is proper. And also, I want to warn you, there are some practice in the ancient Chinese, which is preaching down today, which is very damaging to the body. Okay? So not all so-called ancient Chinese teaching is proper for the body. So the bottom line is, please, it has to satisfy the sports science, medical science before you practice it. Okay. One thing is holding the breath. I want to share with the entire world. In the ancients, so we practice the 6 healing sound to get everything healthy and good and so forth. However, one have to make sure one is really, really healthy, or the Sifu will make sure one is really, really healthy before one is taught to take impact. And in the training of take impact, the Hat Qi Gong or Nei Gong, you always have the holding of breathing. You inhale 30%, you hold for a few seconds, you inhale another 30%, you hold for 30 seconds, and you inhale another up to 90%, you hold for many seconds. That is the training of that thing. But not everybody is allowed to practice that. Today, in the ancient, they won't even tell you this. Today, I tell you this is because there's no secret on me. So when you do this, the reason you must not touch it is because you have your abdominal pressure. You have your thoracic pressure, is it thoracic? In the chest cavity pressure and the abdominal pressure. If you know that when your thoracic pressure, intrathoracic pressure get high pressure, you're going to influence your blood pressure, your lung, your heart there. And then for the lower, the abdominal, if you have a really high intra-abdominal pressure, you're going to need a balance body there in order to support it. If there is not balance on anything, you can cause hernia. So that's why, like in the Shulin Tao practice, is always say natural, meaning that you don't want to do this breath holding, because there's a negative effect there. If you don't know how to handle, if your body is not for it. Like people, if you have already like today's people, like we are 40 years old or something, modern people, we probably have high blood pressure problem or heart problem a little bit here and there. If you do those kind of stuff, I mean, maybe once or twice you can be macho, take hit. But what is the long-term practice of this is going to cost your cardio health or your brain, what do you call it, the circulation health. You might get stroke. So that's why you see that a lot of Chinese Kung Fu, so-called Chinese Kung Fu master who know how to fight when they are young, at the old age, they get stroke. So of course, one thing is, there are two things there. One is somebody, we are not equal. You know, somebody is born weaker than other people. Okay, some have born with a heart issue and all kind of stuff. Some is more healthier. But if we don't get this training thing clarified, how many people will get hurt? So that's, again, I want it to be scientific. Check with your MD, medical doctor, check with medical science what you're supposed to do or not. Don't tell me about, oh, you just use your mind. It doesn't matter if you breathe in, you breathe out, you are holding your breath. No, what the heck are you talking about? So I hope that, you know, I'm whining here. And I hope that you know that, like the other day, I was in a Buddhist meeting. And then somebody tell me, Hendrik, can you shut up? Because everybody here want to listen to the teacher's talk. And the teacher saying that, well, this is an open discussion time. Okay, so even when I talk in the open discussion time, people ask me to shut up. Okay, so it's like today, I'm whining like an old lady. The issue is, number one, I see my classmates, many of them get hernia. I see my sifu pass away with heart problem, young, 60-year-old, younger. I see my sifu pass away, kidney problem, young, 40-something-year-old. Or live kid, which is about really young kids. I'm the lucky one. And that's why I have the chance to whining like an old lady here. So that's who I am. So, you know, Nimjo, I hope that you don't be a good fighter, but take care of your health, take care of your life, and live long. You can do Wing Chun. You can always keeping learning.
Yeah, you know, I'm 40. Well, I'm 44. I don't have any pretensions to be a professional fighter or anything like that. I've always been interested in Wing Chun and Chinese martial arts because my dad, he never let me study it when I was a kid. So as I got older, I was interested in it. And the story of Wing Chun is like, you know, it's deep and it's not so easy to find out things. It's a lot of mixed messages and a lot of gaps in people's memories, and there's 1,000 stories there, and so it's fascinating for that reason. And it's been, you know, I enjoy learning about it. So for me, it's everything, you know, this is a bonus. You know, what I can learn and what I can read, and if it makes me feel better, well, that's even better, you know. So I don't pretend to, I don't have any pretensions to get into the ring tomorrow, don't worry. that's not my thing. But I do train with younger classmates. You know, they're in their 20s and 30s, and they have questions, and so they have a lot of questions sometimes, and sometimes there's no answers to be given. So it's really nice to talk to them sometimes, and if I can, you know, if I can give some advice to them sometime, maybe one day, which can help them, then that's, for me, is fantastic, you know. So for me, that's why I do it, because really it's my classmates, really. Really good group.
So great, you know, for today. So hope that I'm whining enough, and before I go, and things.
You whine all you want, Hendrik.
So before I go, I want to tell everybody here, Wing Chuners here, sparring come with a price to play. I like those things when I was young too. Okay, people know that I break my hand and all this kind of stuff. I'm still fortunate. You know, I get punch and I get my lead teacher Cho Hong Choi come massage me, or go to my Sifu Se Fa Chan, who is the Sik O Cham's student. Oh, Sifu, I got this hurt here. So he go acupuncture. I'm lucky. One of my friend, which is my godmother's nephew, who is a black belt in Taekwondo instructor, get into sparring. It's a very good guy. At that particular night, don't know what happened. He got a kick on the back of the head, and he never awake. Age 20 something. So I never take who you can fight to be above there. If you look at the Chinese Kung Fu, be it Long Ying or Pak Mei or Choi Lei Fat, the first thing is say that always the teaching is you have to manage yourself. Not fighting, manage yourself. You learn Kung Fu to manage yourself, okay? Not provoking those fighting. Doesn't mean that they don't have the Kung Fu, but the first is we need to know how to manage ourselves. We need to set what is the priority over there, okay? Don't blind ourselves with, I want to fight 10 guys, okay? Now, my other Sifu, actually my teacher, my father's Kung Fu Sifu, who helped me to heal my hand, was died because he was ambushed in Indonesia the night he went back home. He was, because he traveled in a shorter path instead of going around, and people ambush him. That's a reality. And like the Chi Chi Guang, you got the great Japanese warrior with the jujitsu and the katana. They packing that array to take you down. 6 men take you down. So you get the best fighter there. They have 6 men there. Chi Chi Guang take you down. Why? Because they know how to fight. They know how to break you. And the last thing I want to tell you is Chi Chi Guang's army, the last fight of the Chi Chi Guang army is 1621, 400 years away from today. So when Chi Chi Guang 55 years old, they play some politics and discharge him. He is so poor that he don't even have money for his health care. So he died at age 60, this hero, but because of the politics and the emperor. Well, after he discharged, his army was torn, breaking into different parts, like today's corporate, you know, like you just separate them and everything. So 1621, the last battle, they fought against the Qing. At that time, there's not Qing yet. Later, you know, these people from the northern later become the Qing dynasty. They fought the last war. Everybody died. That is a really big war. Okay, really, even the enemy look at that. This is the war which is really tough to handle. So I leave you with this today: is life is precious. Take care of your family. Take care of yourself. Everything, what you do, you have to pay a price. So this is what I like to share with you today.
Thank you, Hendrik.
Welcome.